In this quick lecture, we are going to see how to create a solution and a project, how to create an SSIS package inside this project to be able to develop data flows. So first of all, you open your Visual Studio. It's Visual Studio 2022. If you don't have this integration services in the recent project template, you just go to the search bar and you type SSIS or integration, and then you have integration services project. Then you select next. Then we want to create our first project. You have a solution. In the solution, you have a project, and in the project, you have SSIS packages. So we want to call this project SSIS files project. However, it's just to have a name. So you just notice something is that here you select your location. For me, it's C solutions. And you have an option here where I want to place all my projects and solutions in the same folder. So my project and my solutions are both called SSIS files project. They are under solutions. So you select create. And now you have your SSIS environment that is opened. So let's explore a little bit the different windows and options. So first of all, you have the getting started window that you can just close. Then you have in the left something very important when you are at package level is the SSIS Toolbox, the place where you have all your components. When you are at control flow level, you have all these different components. And when you are at data flow level, if I add a data flow, so I just drag and drop the data flow task into the control flow. Remember, we have the package, then the control flow, then the data flow level. And I select my data flow, I double click on the data flow, then I have the other components that are usable in the data flow level. So this SSIS toolbox is the thing you are going to use a lot. You have your source, destinations, transformations is very important. And just if for some reason it's not displayed, you go to view, then you select other windows, and then you select SSIS toolbox here. It is displayed because sometimes you may close it and you don't know where it's located. So you just do that to open it. When you are developing, you need another toolbar, and this toolbar is called the layout toolbar. For example, if I select the data flow and I just duplicate them like that, just to show you the toolbar, how it works. Let's say you have a bunch of data flows or sequences. Let me plug them one to one. Let's say you have these data flows and you have even more than that. Let's say this one is even a different size. As you see, they are not very well placed on the control flow. You can automatically create a nice layout. So to do that, you have to use the layout toolbar. So to do that, you go to view again, then you select toolbars this time, and then you select here the layout option. Then you have this toolbar that is just displayed here. Now let's say I select with the cursor the 3 data flows. Now you have this option here. You can align them left, and then you have this other option with the star that makes them the same width. And you can have a nice layout for big and complex data flows. Then I wanted to show you a third thing about the Visual Studio. Let's say I don't save this one. The third thing is dark mode. When you will have to develop a lot, it's better to have the dark mode than the light mode. So you just, to open the options for the dark mode, you select Tools, then you go to Options, and then you have the color theme here. Under Environment General, you have the color theme. So I definitely prefer the dark mode because it's much more relaxing for the eyes and also better for health. That's it. So this is the 3 small tips that I wanted you to use for having the nice setup. Then if I open back the package, you will have again a few windows that are super important that you will use every time. You have, first of all, the Solution Explorer here, where you can see your hierarchy. You have the solution. Then under the solution, you have the project. Of course, you can have multiple projects under a solution. You can just create a new project here by right-clicking Add New Project. And then under the project, you have your packages. Your packages are DTS6 files, so they will all be under this folder. And these packages are simply located in the same folder where you created your project and the solution. Then you have the Git change. So of course, when you will be working with teams, you need to create a Git repository to commit your code, to back up your code and work with teams that you can also integrate with Azure DevOps. Then you have the variables window where you can create and manage your variables. And you have the properties. This properties window, it's linked to any object that is currently active. For example, if I click now on the package, I see the properties of the package. If I go to common and I insert a data flow task, then I click on the data flow, then I have the properties of the data flow. And you will see that it's very powerful because you can do many things like disable the element. You see now it's disabled. You have many things that you can manage using the properties, even using the variables, and we'll see that later in the next lectures. You have your first package ready and your solution. You are ready to start your first SSIS development.